The lights dimmed. The stage was glowing softly in golden light. The cameras zoomed in as a small figure slowly walked to the center of the stage. She couldn't have been more than 11 years old. Her dress looked old but neatly pressed. Her shoes, clearly worn out, made small tapping sounds on the floor. The judges, Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, Alicia Dixon, and Bruno Tonioli, watched her quietly, trying to figure out what kind of act this little girl was about to perform. Simon leaned forward, studying her face. There was something different about her eyes, something deep and spiritual, as if she carried a lifetime of emotions behind them. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Amanda asked with a kind smile. The little girl took a breath and said softly, "My name is Mary Grace. I'm from the Philippines." Her voice was timid but carried a calm strength, a tone that immediately caught the audience's attention. Simon asked, "Mary Grace, how old are you?" "I'm 11 years old, sir," she replied politely. "And what will you be singing today?" Alicia asked. Mary Grace lowered her eyes for a second, then looked back up. "I will sing a song called, The Song of the 25 Prophets. It's a song my father wrote before he passed away." There was a hush across the theater. Even the background chatter faded. Simon raised his eyebrows slightly. "The Song of the 25 Prophets. That's quite a title. Is it about religion?" Mary Grace nodded. "It's about the prophets of God, and how their stories give hope to people who have nothing." The audience reacted with a gentle murmur. Some people even clasped their hands together, curious. Simon leaned back in his chair, clearly intrigued. "All right, Mary Grace. The stage is yours." The lights faded to blue. A single spotlight shone on the girl as soft, distant music began to play, an acoustic guitar and faint strings. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and then opened her mouth. The first note that came out was pure, fragile, and yet filled with so much emotion that it instantly brought silence to the room. The lyrics flowed gently like a prayer, her small voice trembling with sincerity. "From Adam's truth to Noah's ark. From Abraham's faith to Moses' spark. From David's song to Jesus' light. The prophets walked through endless night." Her words painted images in everyone's mind. She sang of love, patience, and sacrifice. Her tone rose and fell like the ocean tide. Every word felt sacred. It was not just singing, it was worship. The audience sat completely still, unable to move. Cameras caught close-ups of Simon's face. His eyes glistened, and his lips pressed together. He was trying hard to hold back tears. As the song continued, Mary Grace's voice grew stronger. She sang about hardship and faith, about how her father used to tell her the stories of prophets when they had no food to eat, reminding her that every trial has a purpose. Her voice trembled as she sang, "And when the world forgets your name, remember truth will rise from pain. The prophets walked so we could see that faith can set the spirit free." By the time she reached the final verse, people in the audience were crying openly. Even Amanda wiped away a tear. Bruno held his chest, whispering, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." Then came the last note, soft, high, and pure. The music faded into silence. The little girl stood motionless, tears running down her cheeks. For a moment, no one said a word. Then the entire audience rose to their feet. The applause was thunderous. People screamed, clapped, and cheered for her. Some even shouted her name. Simon Cowell looked down, took off his glasses, and wiped his eyes. He was visibly emotional. When he finally looked up, his voice cracked slightly. "Mary Grace," he said slowly, "in all the years I've been doing this show, I don't think I've ever heard anything like that. That was heavenly." Amanda leaned forward. "Sweetheart, that wasn't just a song. That was a prayer. You sang from your soul, and you touched every single person in this room." Alicia added, "Your father would be so proud of you right now. You didn't just sing. You brought faith and light into this place." The crowd cheered even louder. Tears streamed down Mary Grace's face as she whispered, "Thank you." Then Simon stood up. The entire audience gasped. He reached forward and pressed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti exploded across the stage. Mary Grace covered her mouth in shock as tears of joy rolled down her face. The music swelled, and she looked up to the sky as gold rained down around her. Simon walked onto the stage. He hugged her gently and said, "Your father is smiling right now. You reminded us why we need faith, love, and hope. You are an angel. The audience was chanting her name, Mary Grace. Mary Grace. That night, her performance went viral. Within hours, millions of people around the world watched the video titled, Poor Filipino Girl Sings Song of the 25 Prophets, Simon Cowell in Tears. People commented things like, "This child has the voice of heaven," and, "I've never cried this hard from a talent show." News outlets began calling her, the Angel of Manila. Her voice reached places she never imagined, churches, schools, and homes across continents. A few days later, in an interview, Mary Grace shared her story. She lived in a small town in the Philippines. Her father used to be a carpenter who loved music. Every evening, he told her stories about the prophets, about patience, truth, and faith. He always said, "One day, you will sing these stories to the world." But before he could see her dream come true, he passed away due to illness. Her mother struggled to raise her, working long hours. Still, Mary Grace sang every morning, believing her father's spirit was listening. When a charity organization in Manila heard her sing, they helped her apply to the international talent show. Simon Cowell personally invited her back for the semifinals. When she walked back on stage weeks later, she was dressed in a simple white gown. She sang a new song, inspired by her father's words again. It was called, The Promise of Faith. Her voice was even more powerful this time, filled with gratitude and grace. By the end of the song, all 4 judges were standing again. Simon said, "You have reminded us that talent is not about fame or money, it's about purpose. And your purpose is to heal hearts with your voice." Mary Grace smiled and said softly, "I just sing what I feel in my heart." The finals came. The entire world was watching. The girl from a small village in the Philippines stood under the biggest spotlight of her life. She sang a new arrangement of the Song of the 25 Prophets, this time joined by a children's choir and a soft orchestra. As she sang, images of prophets, hope, and faith were displayed behind her. The moment was so spiritual that many in the audience closed their eyes as if in prayer. Simon once again wiped tears from his face. By the time she finished, there was no doubt, she had won everyone's hearts. When the results were announced, Mary Grace was declared the champion. Confetti fell again, and she cried as Simon hugged her once more. He said, "You didn't just win this competition. You reminded the world what faith and humility sound like." After the show, Mary Grace received invitations from around the world, to sing at events, churches, and concerts. But she never forgot where she came from. She used her prize money to rebuild her home and started a foundation to help other poor children pursue their dreams through music. She once said in an interview, "I don't want to be famous. I just want to make people believe again." Her song, the Song of the 25 Prophets, became a global anthem of hope. It was translated into several languages and sung in schools and choirs worldwide. Even years later, people still remembered the little girl who made Simon Cowell cry and filled the world with light through her voice. Back on the show, Simon once said in a reunion episode, "There are many singers who can sing high notes, but very few who can touch your soul." Mary Grace was one of them. She reminded me why I started this show, to find the light that exists in people's hearts. Her story continues to inspire countless children in the Philippines who believe that no dream is too far if you keep faith alive. And so, whenever someone listens to the Song of the 25 Prophets, they remember not just the notes or the melody, but the heart of a little girl who sang with the voice of angels, carrying her father's message to the ends of the earth. That night wasn't just another talent show, it was a spiritual experience that united people of every background, reminding them that no matter where you come from, your voice, your story, and your faith can change the world. Simon later said in an interview, "It's rare that a child's song can silence a crowd of thousands. But that day, I felt something divine. I truly did." The audience never forgot her. The world never forgot her. And today, millions still play her song when they need courage, faith, or healing. So if you ever feel small, remember Mary Grace, the poor Filipino girl who turned pain into praise and made Simon Cowell himself believe in miracles. Thank you for watching this powerful story. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories from around the world. Because sometimes, All it takes is one voice, one song, and one moment of truth to remind us that miracles still happen.